Yo, check this out. This thing is like the best keyboard now. The best. You told me that this was the best keyboard last week, so I bought it. Yeah, but that was last week. This one is like the best, like this week though. Last week you told me this was the best keyboard, so I bought this one too. Bro, why are you even talking about last month? That's like 2 years ago. 1 month ago. Anyways, this thing, it's like, wait, hold up. Yeah? Uh-huh. Yo, there's another new best keyboard now! Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Scott K. It feels like it's been a hot minute since I made a new video for you guys. Sorry, I've been out with some health issues, but now I'm back, so hopefully for good. But that intro, I swear, it's the current state of custom keyboards these days. You buy the best keyboard there is, then next week something else comes out and it's even better. It's not even like an exaggeration, it's actually the truth. So given that, I'm going to introduce to you a new keyboard, the JRIS75. Honestly, this thing is good, it's really good. But I dare not say the word best anymore because I know something else will come out and trump it in like a few weeks. I realize now that keyboards have become like any other electronic. A laptop from today is better than a laptop from 4 years ago. It's just the way it is. So let's get started. So looks like Irislabs took a few pointers from QWERTY keys, like this accessories box, right? Open it up and you got, well, a coiled cable and keycap pullers, you know, the stuff, the usual stuff now, right? Then underneath it, you got another layer of stuff, lots of stuff. It consists of customizable components, mostly to outfit the upper right corner with like a knob or a badge or a glowing badge. I mean, the presentation is pretty decent and has a lot of customization options for a board that is under $200. So if you recall, the original JRIS75, it started the whole weird naming convention thing, as well as the red and black PCB mounting style of the JRIS lineup. What this means is that the JRIS75 can also be mounted as a plateless option for extra flex. However, one thing that Irislabs decided to change was the gasket itself. Instead of the usual pour-on gasket, they decided to go with these little silicone pegs. And depending on how many you use, you can adjust the stiffness. So if you use like 2 on the sides, it's the softest setting. If you decide to use 1 in the middle, it's medium. If you use all 3, that's the stiffest. So this was a good change because now you can go plateless and also control how soft or not the keyboard behaves. Besides that, the keyboard has various different layout supports, even in hot swap configuration, like even ISO. And behind it all, you got the KO hot swap sockets. Plus all these flex cuts, right? From what I know, you can also opt for the per key RGB version, and that has no flex cuts, so. Remember that this thing is also a 1.2mm PCB, so plan accordingly when you're buying stabs. Although you can go plateless, if you decide that you want a more stable and firmer typing experience, you can always opt for one of the plates. The one I have here is the palm plate, but you can also grab like an aluminum or brass, FR4 or polycarbonate as well. So lots of options once again. And yes, it's 2023. Foam is the norm now, guys. JRIS75 comes with loads of it. Surprise, surprise. You get the case foam. Then you get one more case foam for good measure. Then you got the mid-plate foam right in the middle. And finally the EVA foam sheets. Wait, not PE? Nope. The JRIS75 doesn't use a layer of PE, but it uses a layer of EVA. It does modify the sound a bit, but in my opinion, it has a cleaner, less marbly sound versus PE. So obviously you can either choose to use this or not, it's up to you. Now let's talk about the case. You know, like when I first grabbed this thing, the first thing that popped into my mind was, it reminds me of the Bubble 75. I mean, it looks like the JRIS75 was modeled after the Bubble 75. Very similar design. However, the Bubble was a beautiful board, so no complaints there. And like I said, the design is clean and it's actually very well balanced. Inside, you got this nice inner brass weight along with the daughter board right in the center. What is interesting is that if you do opt for the Bluetooth wireless version, which this one is not, the battery is hidden behind this cover. So once again, they took some cues from the QWERTY Keys QK series. But wait, you haven't seen it all yet. Flip the baby over and bam, the highlight. the lower weight of the JRIS75 is absolutely gorgeous. I have the PBD gold stainless steel. I mean, look at this thing. It's like so pretty. Even with this option, this board will top out around $200. So absolutely worth it in my opinion to go with the PBD stainless steel. Wait, there's more. So if you checked out the My Key Club website, they talk about JRIS75 being a quick disassembly board. So what the heck does that even mean? Well, this. Yup, this thing comes apart with no tools. It's because it's using these stainless tension catches. Yup, looks just like this one, right? And these are what, $38 each? What the heck? But honestly, this thing is so robust. It's not like easy to pop off, so don't worry about like your keyboard falling apart if you lift it up. Plus, the case has these little guide pins to keep everything perfectly aligned as well. So for this first build, I decided to check out the plateless option with no foam. For switches, I decided to go with the Ceptify Snow Fox linear switches. So I was told by Ceptify that these Snow Fox switches are one of the deepest sounding switches ever. Is that true? I don't know. Well, let me know in the comments below. For stabs, I used some Staebies. Oh, and since plateless tends to be pretty soft, I decided to put the gaskets into the stiffest setting by using all three of those little pegs, right? So here is a quick assembly in action. Just like apply some pressure to the top and clip. For this plateless build, I decided to use the knob to show you like what it looks like. And you know what? It looks good in this color combination, the white and the gold and white components. So for keycaps, I used some PBTFans Pygas. Man, these look pretty amazing on this white case color. Plus the gold legends on the Pyga like blends perfectly with the gold knob and the artisan. So this is actually one of my favorite color combinations. So you know what? What do you think? One of my top keyboard looks right now. This thing right here, this JRIS75. So then, what about the sound? Well, let's check it out. So what do you think? Honestly, I'm not sure if it's the Ceptify switches or the actual design of the JRIS75, but overall the keyboard isn't as clacky and thin sounding as the original JRIS65 in plateless configuration. Honestly, it's downright great sounding like this. Plus the spacebar sounds pretty thok too. And the flex? Yeah, obviously, right? It's pretty dang flexible and soft because it's plateless. But what if you don't want it to be that flexible? What if you want more stability in your life? Well, then use a plate, right? That's what we're gonna do exactly right here. So for this plate build, I decided to use all the foam that was provided to show you what it sounds like. So you could make your own decision when you decide to buy your own JRIS. Overall, the white palm plate actually looks pretty good with the white case, and the Ceptify Snow Fox blends perfectly in as well. Since this build now has a plate, I decided to ease off on the gaskets and put it in the softest setting, which is 2 on the sides. Honestly, in this setting, the JRIS75 is almost as flexible as the plateless option itself. And for this plate build, I decided to try out the glowing badges instead. So these, they actually look badass. I prefer this over the knob, so my build is going to stay like this with this glowing badge. So what about the sound? Let's check that out too. So what do you think? It definitely has more of that foamy pop, and the EVA layer definitely modifies the sound of the JRIS75 a bit, don't you think? Overall though, with or without, plate or plateless, the JRIS75 actually sounds really good. I dare say it, it might actually sound better than the latest QK80 or the QK75. Oh, if you decide to add more accessories, right, you can also grab one of these like solid aluminum wrist struts. They're nicely machined and they look pretty good, and they go for around like 45 bucks. However, the one thing to note is that they're aluminum, which means that they feel pretty cold, so it's not really my thing. So I don't know, it's up to you, you might like it. So what is my final thought? Well, like I said, the JRIS75 is actually a really good keyboard. Like QK75 good. In my opinion, the QK75 feels slightly more refined, but from a sound perspective, I think the JRIS75 pulls ahead. Design-wise, they're pretty similar and it's totally subjective, right? So with that said, I mean, if you like how it looks and if you like how it sounds, then buy it. If not, then don't buy it. The whole kit will start around 180 bucks, which is pretty reasonable for this thing. And with more special options like the PVD stainless weight or the Bluetooth, you can go into the low 200s, but I don't know, it's still a pretty good deal. So with all that said, these days, don't expect that a best keyboard will stay on that throne for that long. It's like a month at best. I mean, when did the QK75 come out? Because right around the corner, a challenger awaits, and who knows what will happen, right? As usual, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll have more content for you in the future. Thanks.